Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wrap Up Show. What a show today. It was quite shorter than usual. But before we get into that, I wanted to show you guys this. This is a shirt that was sent to me by our friend Connor, who does these himself. And it's got a thing on the back. It doesn't fit me. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a way on Wednesday to give this away. It's not going to be like a raffle or anything. It'll be a crafty little giveaway. So if you guys come to the Mean Stream on Wednesday, you'll have an opportunity to win this shirt, which is the material is real thick. It's actually very nice. It just doesn't fit me. So thank you very much, Connor. I really appreciate the sentiment, and I think it's great that we're able to give it to one of the Kermitarians, and that it worked out perfectly. So thank you. And Charmin, hi.
Hi, and it boosts mainstream participation.
Absolutely. Yes, that's true. Hi, Gio. Hey, everybody. Thank you, guys. It was a little bit of a shorter show today. I think she was very tired. What do you think?
I think she was too. I think in real life takes a lot out of you.
It really does. I don't know how she does it.
I love it though. I think that it's fascinating, and I like the fact that it helps bring her out of her shell more and gets her talking to people. I
Right.
admire that.
Well, before we get into completely dissecting the show, we do have somebody that's upset with me that was trying to get on the show today. We have him, and he's a very vocal person with a lot of wolf energy. I like the guy a lot, and he's a little upset with me. I think I chose the wrong word when I was telling him why he might not have gone on to her show. So with that being said, Slingshot Warrior, welcome. You know I do like
Hello.
a big fan of yours. And this is the guy that brought you to us, Noodles, who is a superstar in our community.
Look, man, I have respect for you, but at the same time, I guess I misinterpreted what you were saying. You know, because when you tell a wolf to beg,
yeah, it was
we ain't dogs. You know what I mean? Wolves don't beg. You know
Let me
man?
explain what I said. Oh, no. What happened was he was trying to get Elisa's attention in the private chat. And so he said, Wheezy, please don't sideline me. Which I felt as like, hey, Wheezy, get me up on the show. If anybody knows, I have no power on that show at all, none. So Elisa does what she does when she wants to. So what I told Slingshot is I was like, hey, just be patient. The one way not to get up is to beg to get up. It was the wrong choice of words. I don't think he was begging at all. I was trying to type quick just in case she brought me up, and I chose the wrong word. I do have a lot of respect for Slingshot. And what I meant to say was, hey, sometimes she doesn't get to you right away, but she will most likely get to you. And if you watch the show afterwards, Slingshot, I mentioned to her that I wanted you to have on, and she said that you had left. You would have been brought on. It was just maybe I should have said be more patient instead of that you were begging.
Slingshot,
yes.
Slingshot, the one thing you don't understand is like these people are all rooting for you. They want you to be part of the show.
I know.
They want you to have a part. Just, you know, you got very heated on the phone. He was going to strangle you, Wheezy. He wanted to know where you lived. And
thank you for talking him out of it.
Well,
I appreciate you, Noodles.
I understand the wolf logic, and you should remember that at Elisa's show, she's the alpha.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I'll put it this way. I'll be honest with you about what I think of the show. It's not positive, I can tell you that. But
okay, go ahead. We like the truth here.
Oh, I think it's celebrating degeneracy. I think it's I think that and mental illness. Oh man, that woman that was attracted to lamps. I mean, really? I mean, I can tell that this woman was kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
Well, she said she's on the autistic spectrum. Aren't you on the autism spectrum as well?
Yeah, but I live in reality. That's the difference.
You live in reality, though.
I would like to give a little bit of a pushback and play devil's advocate, because Elisa gets this a lot, to where people says that she's exploiting people. I don't see it like that. I see it as her giving people that would otherwise not have an opportunity, because a lot of people can take it either way, but I know her nature, and Elisa's not putting people up like that to make fun of them. Yes, of course, the chat is going to be dickheads sometimes, and they're going to make fun of her, but she put her on the show so that she could tell her story and share her story, not to make fun of her, you know?
I know that, and no one's trying to make fun of anybody, okay? But the point is here is that I'm not a fan of the show because the message of the show is kind of weird. And I don't agree with her worldview. That's just me.
Well, Kermit and Friends isn't for everyone.
It
but
isn't
we'll still
for
be
everyone.
here for you for when you do want to be a part of it. You
Okay.
know? And
Well,
that's
I
the
would
thing.
like
She'll
to be a
win
part
you
of the
over.
show, but if I was going to be a part of the show, she would have to let dissenting opinions on her show.
She does.
And I would gladly be the dissenting opinion. For example, that guy, that psychologist, there was only one thing I disagreed with him about, that we should be ruled by our emotions. Well, that's not the essence of wolf energy. That is, we should never, a man particularly, should never be ruled by his emotions. He should be stoic. That's the essence of wolf energy, stoicism.
I can agree with that.
Men would start acting stoic.
I think that that being a person is very hard, and everybody has their own strategy, and they all could learn from other people, but you could take it or leave it. I agreed with a lot of what he was saying, especially the fact of tell people how you feel. Do not mask everything, because then they know where you stand from.
I'm telling you how I feel now, so that's a
for sure
positive thing.
I agree that that's a very positive thing. I think that him putting out that wearing your emotions on the sleeve might not be for everybody, but for me, that's how I best am vibrating at that frequency. If I try to hide stuff or not be completely outward with people, you can smell it on me because I'm inauthentic, and I don't want to be unauthentic.
I'm not saying you're inauthentic. I'm saying that I believe in putting your emotions aside and doing what's right and doing what you have to do.
Right. I can agree with that too.
That's what wolf energy is about. Stop being a pussy is basically the message of wolf energy.
And you consider that to be the positive image that you want to share?
Well, I have a different opinion. I have a different perspective.
But you don't think that's the message Elise is trying to share?
No.
Yeah, but Slingshot, I think she is. I think she's trying to. She's not picking one side. She's never excluded me. She's not excluding you.
Okay.
She's not excluding anybody here.
All right, but I wouldn't say. Okay, I would like to be on her show. I'm a rational man here. I can put my emotions aside and be rational about this.
So was it rational when you were
stoic?
threatening to find out where Weasley lives?
No, I made that.
He was kidding. Noodles was joking about that. Yeah.
That never happened.
Noodles is hilarious, and once he realized it, like his
Noodles. That's my mistake.
When Noodles said to me,
that's your mistake.
Today, when Noodles said that her hair was horrible, I laughed so hard because I knew exactly what he was doing. And he's doing what I'm afraid to do a lot of the times, is make a joke that might be interpreted wrong. And I'm always afraid to do that. And I appreciate Noodles for that, because he's not. He's just like, your hair looks horrible. Noodles doesn't think her hair looks horrible. He was taking advantage of the whole thing.
Headphones and she was
because everybody else was saying that her hair looked bad. So he was jumping on that bandwagon to play around with it.
Punch down while he could.
Yeah.
I would never, for me, I never make threats online. I've learned that people who make threats don't go through with them.
I didn't take that serious at all. So, Slingshot, I really like you. I feel like you're a great part of the mainstream. I'd love to see you on Elise's show. You're always welcome on this show.
I would love to be on the show too. I mean, I'm not. Look, all I want to do is sell.
This is the producer right here saying that he wants to get you on as an actual guest, which is huge. That's huge.
That would be huge.
So yeah, and I think you'll fall in love with Elisa as not like in love as a girlfriend, but as a person, like we all have. Elisa is very likable. She's wonderful, and if anything, nobody can say she's not fair. She gives everybody an opportunity, and everybody gets this platform equally. Okay. So I would love to see you on there, and I think that maybe you just kind of misunderstood. And I apologize for the wording, because the wording was wrong.
Yeah,
I felt like
beg just pissed it. The beg word bag.
I can understand.
What you want me to beg? I'm like, for real?
I felt like
you've been working out too much, dude. You've been working out.
Well, I'm not a dog. I'm a wolf.
Too much wolf energy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a dog. I'm a wolf.
Yeah, exactly.
So is your theme song when you're working out, Duran Duran, like a wolf?
Hungry like a wolf.
I like that song, by the way.
It's a good song.
But for those who don't know, wolf energy is a philosophy. Okay. It is a philosophy that we've been pushing on my channel. And we have imitators, by the way, and we have haters, imitators and haters, And the thing is, we built this up. It basically is an ancient force that we gave a name for. It's basically a masculine force. It's a positive masculine force. It's about being stoic, putting your feelings aside and doing what you have to do. And it's about hard work. It's about being strong in mind, body, and spirit. And it's about basically standing up for your pack, your family, whatever you got to do. It's basically, this is the philosophy of wolf energy that we've been pushing. And it's a masculine philosophy. And we always say that not everyone can have wolf energy.
Do you see what Crystal says? She says wolf energy equals big dick energy. I would have to agree.
Yep.
I would have to agree.
Don't go down the road to quoting Crystal Roberts. That's a very bad road to go down.
Well, she said if she was going to play Fuck, Marry, Kill, she'd do all three to me, which I found hilarious.
But yeah, we've had our share of critics and imitators lately, but we are still going strong, and we are actually selling T-shirts for $19.99.
Well,
Look
wait,
at that.
we haven't done that yet, Slingshot. We haven't
done that yet. Okay, we haven't done that yet.
Get a Teespring. I got one for my kitty cat, and like 5 people have bought the shirt just because I want them to have the cat shirt. I wasn't trying to make money. I just want people to have my cat on their shirt. I don't know how wolf energy that is, but for me, that's pretty wolfy.
And for the record, Slingshot, Weezy's the one who came up with wolf energy cologne.
That's it. Thank you, Weezy.
$5 a bottle. $5.
Thank you. I came up with the price.
I'll have to say Noodles came up with the cologne. I came up with the logo for it because I've been very inspired by, hey, listen, Noodles is a giant champion for you. He has really, really put in the footwork to get you to be well known, to get the Wolf Energy brand out there. This guy, you couldn't pay for somebody to do this. This guy is so loyal and so great to you.
Oh, yeah, he's a good friend, and he's a good manager.
Absolutely.
We're trying to build something, and we're trying to get, a Teespring and T-shirts made, and we're trying to get all sorts of products made, including cologne and stuff like that.
Somebody says that Wolf Energy cologne could be Noodles' dog urine. I don't think people would buy that. I don't know about that.
I gotta say something, Weezy. Justin has been trying for over 10 years on YouTube, right? I go down to Maryland to go meet this guy. He's a great guy. He's funny as hell. He can perform everything. I've never been so intrigued by a human being before. If this guy was a woman, I'd be married to him.
Well, that is awesome. A great testimony about you, Slingshot. I like him a lot. I mean, I've only known you for a couple of weeks, Slingshot. You have done amazing things for the mainstream. Your philosophy going into it is so appreciated. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Noodles because he brought you to us. He brings a lot of good people to us. I think that Noodles should be Kermitarian of the Year, personally. And I think that Slingshot, you will be Kermitarian of the Week next week after your appearance with Elisa. And you will get to know her, and you will know that maybe sometimes we just have to be patient in the background. And that
I understand. And maybe I reacted a little overreacting, but it's my wolf energy that said, is he telling a wolf to beg?
Yeah, no,
I'm not a dog. No, man. That's how I reacted to it. No, man.
So, okay, so let me ask you, I already got Slingshot what you thought about the guy, or the psychologist, which was basically you said that he got a lot of it right, but you had a little bit of a disagreement with one of the things.
One disagreement, and that was his being ruled by your emotions. That doesn't work in the real world, like doing what you feel every time, doing what feels good. I think that's a bad philosophy in the sense that, I mean, let's say you want to basically expose yourself to basically to a bunch of school children because it feels good.
I get what you're saying. It could be interpreted into a way that is negative. I feel like, go ahead, Noodles.
No, it would be kind of like, I think what he's trying to say, if you have the urge to kill, like let's say you're so angry that you want to go to someone's house and beat them up because they want to let you on a panel. You got to curb that emotion that would make you feel good to beat them up and hurt them.
Right, and I think that
I would never do that. Okay, because I'm a stoic individual. I put my emotions aside. The thing is, one thing about wolf energy you have to understand. One part of the philosophy is that even when you fall, you still pick yourself back up and you keep going. You learn from your mistakes, you learn from your failures, and you work hard, and you learn, and you basically, and that's how you succeed, from failure to success.
So this was a good lesson today, Slingshot Warrior, right?
It's a good lesson.
You're going to take your own advice from now on, right? We're not going to have any problems with these people. Right?
Well, I wasn't basically caring about failing or anything, but it was a misunderstanding.
Yes, it was. I take responsibility for it.
Why don't you apologize to Wheezy?
Oh,
I apologize to you, Wheezy, for misunderstanding
you. Thank you very much. It was my fault, though. And like I said, you'll understand the mechanics and the way that the show goes. I mean, look at Noodles. He only got brought up a couple of times, and he's well known. Once you're well known, you will be brought up a couple of times. Charmin's a great example. She loves Charmin, and Charmin might only get 2 minutes a show. I'm the fucking co-host, and I'm lucky to get a couple minutes, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. So she's got a lot going on.
Episodes, right?
Boom, boom. Yeah, absolutely.
Charmin's a very important person.
Thank you, Charmin. It's nice to meet you.
Very important.
Nice to meet you.
One of mine, cat food.
That's part of the fun of the show is that you never know who's coming on.
Yes. And you never know when you're going to come up. I oftentimes will be ignoring my phone, ignoring everything, because I don't want to be the guy that's going like this when she brings me up. So I'm always just like on call,
I hate it when I look up and I'm on camera like, oh shit, she got me again.
I've developed a sixth sense for that. I'm like looking out of the corner of my eye.
We caught you lifting your dress one time, scratching your leg when you got put on.
No, she caught me She's caught me moving my legs. She caught me adjusting my bra. If I do anything weird behind scenes, she puts me up real quick.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
I know.
I was traveling once, the camera dropped, and it was just a boob shot on the big screen. It was like, come on.
That's so good.
Oh boy, and this Dmitry Bavilov made a very funny comment. I'm laughing about it.
Is that the comment?
Yeah.
It is a pretty good one. Dimitri's funny. I've already noticed that he's very funny. Toothless is working on being the new co-host. Now, this is weird. I knew this guy. I used to go on Stickam between 2007 to like whenever it shut down. And I knew this motherfucker from Stickam. We were in the same arena, basically. And then when Lisa started doing in real life stuff on Captains, he was commenting and he came over here, and I just still can't believe how small the internet can be, because that's like, it blows my mind. But he might be the new co-host. It's going to really make me jealous.
Can I announce a future project that we're going to be doing? I'm going to be showing my family tree.
Oh, wow.
And you'll be surprised of some of the, see, in my family, particularly my mother's side of the family, we have a very bloody history. And we're going to basically show, and I look very similar to my ancestors who actually did this horrible act. How you doing, Super Tramp? But the thing is, that I have Appalachian ancestors that did something really extreme in the past. That was around the time of the Titanic, and it was.
Wow!
It didn't get much headlines, but it's been a part of town history up in Virginia. I think up in North Carolina, Virginia, I think it was. My ancestors married into that family married into my ancestors' family, and I do look like a lot of the photos in that picture of that horrible massacre that happened, that was done by some of my ancestors.
Now I have to ask Slingshot something. Is your wolf energy depleted when you're a cat owner and lover, or are you allowed to like cats and still have wolf energy?
I have nothing against. I love all animals.
Okay.
Cats are interesting. Like some cats are nice, some cats are cool. Some cats like me very much, But it's just like some cats could be assholes.
That is very true.
So we have it on record. You do like pussy.
Oh,
yeah, I do.
I can tell.
Slingshot was actually attacked by a cat. That's why he's saying.
Oh my
goodness. The thing is, here's the thing. I remember I was on a date, right? I was with this girl, and she had this cat, this juvenile cat named Midnight. It was just slightly out of kitten, but not a full blown cat yet. And she showed me this cat. But, you know, when you're on a date, your concentration is on the girl. So you're not thinking about the cat. It's like, oh,
Especially
it's a cat. I didn't bother the
energy.
cat. No, I mean, left the cat alone. No, man. So I wasn't thinking about the cat. So I was thinking about the girl on the couch. So what happened was that
this rumor, though, let's address this rumor real quick. You don't kill animals, do you? Or do you hunt? I mean, there's a little.
I've hunted before. I've hunted small game.
With your slingshot, or
with my slingshot.
Ever? Wow, that's incredible, actually. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
Anyway, what happened was that I was on the couch sitting next to this girl. We're watching a movie, and I feel a sharp pain in my lower backside. I'm wondering where the hell where did that come from? And I saw this cat midnight, like with his teeth and claws sunk into my backside.
Wow.
If I wasn't on a date, I would be throwing that cat and as far as I can throw it. But I didn't do that because I didn't want to piss. You know, it's like I'd be saying, "What do you know? Cats can fly."
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I've never been attacked by a cat, but I have been attacked by a couple of dogs, and that's very scary.
I'm scared right now from the bitch that's called Isabel, or is that called Izzy? I love this cat, but this cat. I read in a book, if you overstimulate a cat, they bite you. So
yeah,
you want attention, you pet, and then they bite.
Yeah,
but, I mean, this fucking cat
kind of like you, Kleenex. You
bites my legs.
You and you bite.
That's true. Kleenex is the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm behaving.
So I look forward to that project, seeing Slingshot Warrior's family tree. I think you're going to love this one.
Can you give us a tease so we can research the massacre, so we can be fully prepped for the inside details?
Great idea.
That would be spoilers.
No, Slingshot, do it.
Just one little teaser.
Let's see. I forget what the name of the massacre is. It happened in a courtroom. It would happen in Virginia.
It happened in a courtroom. It happened in a courthouse.
This is before they had armed guards at the courtroom. It was around the turn of the century. And apparently, the court case wasn't going my ancestors' way, and basically with some black powder revolvers, they pulled out the black powder revolvers and killed everyone in the courtroom.
Now that's wolf energy. If I have to say, like, somebody could not contain all of their own wolf energy. It was pumping through their veins so rapidly that they were forced to massacre people in a courtroom, right? Or was that opposite of wolf energy?
I come from a family with a violent history. Let's just say that. It's in my blood. It's the warrior gene in me.
Do you have like DNA? Have you done the ancestry and the
No, I have family members who do what we call genealogy.
I love this comment.
And I have an aunt who does genealogy, who we're related to, you know. And we have some very violent ancestors. I'll put it that way.
I'm glad
we have ancestors that fought in the Civil War. We have ancestors we have a coat of arms, which means we had ancestors who were knights. Every family has something they're good at. You know what I mean? You know, that's something that through generations.
My ancestors were really good at getting fat and fucking losing their hair.
I was going to take the next one. Mine is diabetes and cancer, and
mine is just being a white ginger that gets sunburned so easily that they have to get skin cancer burned off of their forehead.
Yeah, I tell you. But here's the thing: one thing in my family that we're really good at is kicking ass.
I can tell.
I'm related to about a dozen presidents, and some of my people are in the theaters right now. You can go see the Warrior King, the Woman King.
Oh, what a terrible! That's a lie of history.
Yeah.
What is the Woman King about?
It's about the Dahomey tribe.
Yeah, the Dahomey tribe was.
It's an all-female tribe of Amazon warriors, and their whole thing is they protect a female king, and they're amazing. I think this is the foundation of the Wonder Woman story.
This is where I would disagree. This is where I would fundamentally disagree.
Part of my whole Wonder Woman storyline. When I discovered I was Dahomey in 2020, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
You realize the Dahomey tribe,
Slingshot Warrior. What do you think of that? Having a woman in power like that?
Here's what I think, and here's what I'm going to say. That I think she's gotten a movie conducive with real history. There's a lot of videos about the real history of the Dahomey tribe, and it's not positive. They were slavers. They literally sold a lot of enemy tribes.
From the last living Dahomey, which is what the movie is based on.
It's based on, but it's not based on any real history.
There's a lot of gaslighters trying to change history to suit their needs.
Well, it's not real history. The movie is not real history.
It's not the history you want to hear.
Well, I'm telling you that as the history studied, the Dahomey tribe were slavers. They were basically they sold a lot of people into slavery.
Yeah.
So
I have a question. I have a question for Charmin and Slingshot. Both of you guys, would you guys be willing to have a little debate about this on Wednesday's Mean Stream?
I'm not interested in participating in the mean stream. It looks like punching down.
And here's the thing about me, man. I'll be back on the mean stream.
It's only,
but I'm kind of burned out, man. Yeah, I'm burned out. I mean, it's like all that yelling and screaming. I want to just take some hiatus on that.
Very annoying, yes.
I take my class on Wednesday, and I'm in such a high vibe after I finish my class. I came on Wednesday, and I watched it, and I felt my energy drop. And
I can understand that. Now, I want to be very clear on what its intention is so that people don't act like that on here, right? So, like, right now, it's working.
It is. And I think you should continue it for the people who need to get that out. I just don't need that on Wednesday.
But I want you guys to know it annoys the fuck out of me too. I mean, like, I only last an hour, and by the end of it, I just want to pull my eyebrows out. Like, that's how bad
it's like that for me too. It's like it does drain me, and I was burning out of it. I'm taking it like a hiatus from it.
Yeah,
I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I like playing the heel character. But, the one thing I have to disagree, I have to think there's no other characters, colorful characters to bounce off of. And that's the one thing that it lacks. You just have regular people in there. That doesn't work. I mean, you want basically colorful characters, wearing some kind of costume.
Botter makes a point, not the point that he thinks he's making, but we did get quite off track. We're supposed to be talking about the show. And you're such a wolf energy, like very alpha male, that it started to become about things that weren't the show. So I would like to get, and I don't know if Supertramp actually even got to watch the show, but I would like to get people's opinions about the psychologist. Now, we got Slingshot's opinion about it. I thought he was great. I thought he was great. What do you guys think?
I liked him. I liked the message that he gave. People need to learn to deal with their emotions instead of just ignoring them.
Yeah. I think ignoring your emotions is what causes a lot of that anxiety. I think he had a really good point about marijuana, because this is somebody that I was the biggest stoner that anybody knew. If you watch the old wrap-up shows, it's just me chain smoking spliffs. I was a gigantic stoner from 1995 until May of this year. And the one thing that I noticed when I stopped, actually I noticed a lot of things, but the main thing I noticed when I stopped was that weed was perpetuating my anxiety. I thought it was fixing my anxiety. I thought that when I smoked, there goes my anxiety. This is the only way to control it. No, it was muting it for the next high for 2 hours later or an hour later to when I smoked again. And it was just perpetuating this cycle. Now, of course, my experience is going to be different than anyone else's. Everybody's an individual and they react to certain things differently. But for me personally, yeah, of course, because back in the day when I would smoke, it would totally alleviate my anxiety and there would be no cycle. It wouldn't be like, okay, I'm just stifling this. But once I realized that I had less anxiety after I stopped smoking, I realized that this is the time and place for me personally to stop, because weed has a ton of good qualities for people. I know that it's a great medicine for people, and it was for me for a long time. But for me now, personally, I've noticed that it's not for me. Maybe I'll smoke it in the future. I most likely will. But it wasn't doing what I thought it was doing. It was doing the exact opposite. And for him to say that, it spoke to me, because 7 months ago, I would have said, oh, you're full of shit. You don't have any idea. But I related to it very heavily.
Absolutely. I think there is something about the cannabinoids that it puts into your body that you can get enough that you don't need anymore. And I've had a lot of conversations with people who just got tired of smoking. They didn't need it anymore. And I think that's part of the gift of weed, is that it can help you until you don't need it anymore, and then you don't miss it. Did you notice any strange detox as you were coming off of it?
Oh yeah, but
what was your experience?
Well, I started dreaming again, which I hadn't done for 27 years. But one other thing is that I actually mixed it with tobacco, so it's kind of hard to tell what did what. Because when I stopped, I never used to smoke cigarettes, but I would mix it with my weed, so I smoked spliffs. But I broke out, like the detox. I had pimples for the first time in 20-something years. I had all of this, like these physical things that were happening to me, that it was just like both of those products escaping. The weed I could definitely attribute to being able to dream again. And since then, I've had crazy vivid dreams that I remember. Weed made it so that I could not dream. I would never remember a dream that I had ever throughout those, like since 1995. No dreams.
So the thing is,
I can't even find my car keys or my fucking socks when I get out. That's where I quit. And it started making me paranoid. I quit because it made me paranoid.
I put everything in the same spot each time. Otherwise, I'll never be able to find it. If I lay something down somewhere, it's gone. Forget it. If I put it in a different spot, I'm useless.
Yeah. This is such a great comment. Exercise cures anxiety. So true. Anxiety sometimes is just like stuff just trying to get out of your body, and if you fucking sweat it out, you feel so much better. It's something that a lot of people don't even realize, but yeah, a great cure for anxiety, or at least alleviation for it, is exercise.
It builds confidence in people too, and when you become confident, you don't have anxiety.
I love my exercise class. It just changed so much about my life and helped me to get the anxiety out, to feel confident and happy. It boosts my mood. Exercise is important, and vitamins.
It really is. Vitamin supplements,
you need to be taking vitamin supplements. If you're low and you're depressed, you need to find something that re-engages your body. And for me, finding something that I'd never done before, it was new, it was scary. I had to hold on for dear life. That was good for me.
Yeah. That's another thing that I liked about him, was his ability to like say people are different. You know what I mean? So he's like, what works for me might not work for you. And that's totally true. But getting all of the information in and then kind of dissecting and trying different things for each person, that's really important. And like Slingshot said, he agreed with almost everything except for one aspect of it. So maybe he can apply some of those things, if he hasn't already, to when he's feeling anxiety. Because I think when people say that they don't ever get anxious, I think they're lying to themselves.
I think one of the biggest ways to to deal with anxiety is to face your fears head on. If you go head on, it's like a rush. If you face it, it makes you stronger. See, I believe whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I've heard this, that depression is dwelling in the past and anxiety is preparing for the future.
I used to think that too. It's definitely regret, because you get old, you have lots of regrets. You get old like me. But you also are worried and stressing about what's going to happen next week.
Well, that's anxiety. That's anxiety.
Well, to me, I get depressed because I don't see a future at this stage in life of ever really having the things that I always thought I was going to have.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't even believe that I can be happy next week if I get depressed. Like, I'm not going to be happy next week. I'm going to be sad again next week.
But your beliefs is what's going to make that happen. If you believe you're not going to be happy, you won't be happy.
Most depression is angry at yourself for shit that you did, angry at stuff that's in the past. I mean, you get angry you're always looking in the rearview mirror. I think that is depression. So also, if you're worried, see, I'm at a point right now where I don't see myself retiring and being able to survive at 65. I'm going to have to continue to work until I drop. I mean, Noodle said something the other day. He knew he didn't want to be a broke old man. I'm really afraid I'm going to be a broke old man.
That's a real issue that a lot of people are struggling with.
That's a really scary thing.
For sure. Especially now with everything changing so drastically.
Well,
the thing is,
grim. There's a lot of
I became a Christian, and here's the thing. I lost all fear of death, and then I lost most of my fears. I took swimming lessons. I was afraid of water before. But I'm not afraid to die anymore, so it's kind of like I lost fear of death. And when you lose that fear above all else, you become more powerful. I'm within yourself. I've done that,
Well, that can also be something that's temporary as well. Like if you have this long-seated fear or belief that you're going to be broke in your older age. You're not going to be able to afford anything, that you're going to have to work harder now. There could be two outcomes to that. You can convince yourself that's how I'm going to be and accept it. Or you could say, hey, that's not how I'm going to be. I'm going to change it. And it might be hard, but as long as you are trying to change it with every fiber of your being, then maybe you can make that difference. But if you say, oh, well, I'm just going to be broke when I'm older and I'm going to be depressed about it, well, then you absolutely will. You have to be active, not just reactive. You have to be proactive.
Okay, so let me ask this panel. Okay, is nobody being affected by what's going on in the economy right now?
Thank you, baby.
The surge and inflation. I mean, my industry's done. The car business has been destroyed by COVID. I did that for 30 years. All the new cars at stores that used to have 30 guys now are down to 7 or 8. They have no inventory. All the used cars are being flooded by people trying to run over to that industry. So I got destroyed in this economy. And I can't believe that I'm the only person.
You're not, but this is a comedy show, not a politics show.
Yeah,
that's why we don't talk about it.
Yeah, but
you're not the only person that's afraid.
Okay, my future is because of where we are now. If the world was still plugging along, I probably would have this future fear.
Right, but Kleenex, like, you keep saying something that bugs me because you said, I can't believe I'm the only one. No, you're not. You're not the only one, but we don't express it because this isn't the time or place to express it. Well, no, like you don't go on to you never tune into Comedy Central and they're talking about politics. Do you know why? Because it's fucking depressing. and everybody has their problems, but this isn't the place. Like if we had a political show, Kleenex, you would find out how fucking miserable I am thinking about all of it. But since we're trying to have a good-natured comedian-style comedy show and kind of just like based off of Kermit and Friends and celebrating that. No. I just don't want you to think.
There's a really.
I just don't want you to think you're alone in this. We all feel that way, Kleenex. We just don't express it here.
I understand your anxiety. Here's the thing. How I see it. It's like the world is only temporary. At this world, the problems of this world is only temporary. What really helps me is going into the backwoods that I love so much and basically just reminds me of how stable things are outside of the human world and nature, Yeah,
that's really good reset is to go out into nature. Charmin, can you explain what you're running for people so that people know that you are actually in politics?
Yeah, I am on the ballot this November. My election is November the 8th. I'm running for state senate in Florida's District 4, which is Northeast Florida. It encompasses most of the east part of Jacksonville, like from Southside Boulevard to the beaches, all the way up to Fernandina, over to McClenny and Baldwin. It is a very wide area. I have about 1 million registered voters. And if you look at the map, it looks like a hand grabbing a ball, literally.
And what party are you running as?
I'm a Democrat.
How many people are on the ballot with you, Charmin?
It's just a Democrat and just a Republican.
Okay.
It's working out a little weird for me because I have a complicated, shady past. So the Democrats don't actually like me, and the Republicans are confused how I ended up on the Democrat side of the line. And it's proving to be very difficult to get endorsements and speaking opportunities. Yeah. But I'm here anyways. I'm having a great time talking to everything but a Democrat and a Republican. All those other people are tickled pink to have somebody like me that neither party likes. And I need to find a way to connect with all the people that don't like either party because neither party likes me.
Yeah, I'll be the first to tell you I'm a registered Republican, but I don't like the GOP. At least not
the two-party system's broken. It's broken.
There's a lot of people who are complaining about that, and it's hard to fix it. It's hard to be a moderate, somebody who's truly in the middle and picks issues from both sides that you like and bring together. Yeah. Because both sides are so far in their camp, they expect.
I would say that I've always said that the bigger solution between I think that our country is so divided between left and right is that. Here's what I would suggest. I think that maybe it's time for a peaceful separation. Maybe it's time for the left and the right to actually the country to break up between left and right.
Wait, hold on. How's this going to work? What are we going to do? we're just gonna have like a mass movement of
the red states
from
the
north
red
to
states
south
break away
again.
from the blue states.
Where's
The blue
the
states
line
become
gonna,
their own
okay,
countries.
and then there's gonna be a line.
Slingshot, let him finish.
One nation.
Just
We're
one at a time,
one
please.
country.
Okay.
It is the United States of America. I don't have
We're
time
not
for this
united.
break up and separate. It's not going to work. It didn't work 150 years ago. It's not working now. We have to find a way to come together. We have more in common with each other than we realize. If we stop threatening to kill each other and start talking about things that are important to us,
let's get off of this because this is really divisive in the rest of the time.
No politics. Let's all move to Colorado. Let's all move to Colorado.
Tell me,
go to your list, Weezy. Go to your list.
Tell me what you guys think about Amanda, because I know Kleenex was taking these little jokes and it was hilarious to me. I feel like Amanda was very authentic and brave to come on and talk about it, and I'm sad that she thought she was being trolled, because I don't think that Elisa was trolling her at all. I know that some of the callers were and some people that were involved were, but I think part of it has to be with having a sense of humor about everything, and some people just they can't see that side of it. I thought she was very brave though, and coming on here and talking about what she deals with, which is like impossible for me to understand.
Well, but did you see how many comments were in the chat where it was women were like, wait a minute, is this the same thing I feel when I shop and I have to touch
Clothing.
something I absolutely love? Like, because the first time I walked into the mansion and I saw that big chandelier, this feeling came over me, and I didn't know I could love a thing until I saw it. So when she came on in love with the chandelier, I was like, oh, what message is this?
Yeah, but did you want to have sex
weird
with it?
messages. No, I wouldn't want to have sex with it, but I definitely felt some sort of unique energy with it. Like I didn't even know I could enjoy a thing as much as the glitter and sparkle of it in the room. It was just so magical, and I am really sentimentally attached to my car. You know, my son got mad at me when he was 14. He wanted me to trade the car in, and I refused to, and he raised his hand to hit me, and I told him to walk home. I'll pick my car. You know,
but that's so much different. It's so much different than being engaged to your chandelier.
I know. I think I should get engaged to my car. I think I should find that broken gasket and start wearing it on my finger.
I want to have sex with my dad. Anyway, so I had a very spiritual week this week. I had Yom Kippur on Wednesday, and so today I went to Christian church, and I didn't get on until she was in the middle of her thing for Chandler. So I was at church today for the first time in months. It's been a very spiritual week. And the thing is, I was like, I know people that feel this way about cars. I'm a car salesman. I go to car shows. I tell you, these people are in love with their classic cars. I'm telling you. It's just so emotionally, not sexually, they're emotionally in love with the car because they spent 3 years rebuilding.
But they're not engaged to them. That's the big difference.
The engaged part was the
they're
you know, the way I see this, it's like there are things that I like, but here's the thing. I think that this is mental illness. I think that this woman is a very sad woman.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
I've seen her type before.
The guy below us is mentally ill. I'm mentally ill. The guy over here with the
we're all mentally ill. Let's not pretend
we're all mentally ill here. We don't shame people for their mental illness here.
I know.
We're all mentally ill.
Yeah, but here's the thing here. It's like she seems to be distant from reality, and that's very sad. And I'm not.
What did you think of Mini Matches?
But here's the thing. No one should be celebrating, someone being attracted to physical things. You know, I'm for basically living in reality.
But Slingshot, it's not. Nobody's celebrating her. They just wanted to hear her perception of it. She was only being interviewed so we could understand.
I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that anybody was like, "Oh my God, now I want to go be in love with a chandelier." I think it's a human condition thing where we're like, "Huh, how is it? How does your brain work to actually think that way?" And I don't think she was able to really dig into it because she felt a little slighted, and so she was protective of herself.
No, it also could be she's faking it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
she's not being.
It would have been interesting for the psychologist to talk to her.
That's what I really wanted to see, is them talk to each other.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Because maybe there's a diagnosis for that and we just don't know it. And I think Kleenex brought something really important up tonight. You know, we don't really talk about suicide or things like that, but over 70% of the people who commit suicide are middle-aged people that aren't looking forward to the future. They don't feel like there's any help. And learning to deal with and manage our emotions and find joy and make our own joy, that seemed like quality advice from the therapist today. And we should all be doing things to find and make our own joy. Like I had a stressful week this week with being snubbed by a couple of events I didn't get an opportunity to speak at, but I'm still here chasing my joy and making fun for myself whenever I can. That's what life is.
Yeah, exactly. And if that makes her happy to be engaged, go girl, do your fucking thing. If your chandelier makes you happy, exactly. Go ahead, Noodles.
Yeah, again, she's a fascinating woman and everything and that whole thing, but if she's trying to relate a human relationship with an object, right? That would be me like me saying, "Hey, you know what, Charmin? I think you're beautiful. I'm going to treat you like an object."
Right.
I don't think it's the same thing. I'm an actual human. I think that's different.
But what I'm saying, the object isn't human, and they're trying to get a reaction that a human would. You can't have a relationship with an object.
He's talking about instead of objectifying humans, she's humanizing an object. Yeah. And neither works.
I wish the psychologist was here. There's got to be a connection that us regular people aren't getting.
Nobody's regular. We're all broken in our own little ways.
You're right. We're all different.
I think it's brave, though. I mean, if I was attracted to a chandelier, I probably wouldn't tell people. I would not make it my identity, especially. I think it was brave of her to do that. I hope she comes back. I don't think she will. But I hope she comes back because I had some questions. Like, has she ever been to the Statue of Liberty? Is that why she fell in love with it? How did she go from one to another?
I wanted to watch the cat sit on top of the Statue of Liberty more.
The cat was all over the place, wasn't
it? When the cat climbed on top of the Statue of Liberty, I thought that should have remained her backdrop.
Go ahead, Noodles.
I wonder if any of those objects talk to her. Like, does she talk to those? Because I'm going to be honest. So let's say my refrigerator starts talking, right? And I'm telling you this. What would you tell me? That's a different
thing. I mean, that's hallucinations. I think you need to go see the doctor.
Right. So if
there's a special place for that.
Well, she was kind of asked about that. She said she doesn't talk to them. She said she doesn't talk to them. She said that she feels an energy from them and that they're from the earth. The metal was at one point mined from the earth and has an energy that she can feel. I love that too, Yelly, that she called Forza immature because of her question, which is like, what's more immature, that question or falling in love with the chandelier? I don't know if it's a matter of maturity, but it was ironic to me.
It was. And then Forza leaned into it with a couple more donations.
What was the question? Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly, but it was something like maybe Forza could say it had something to do with like having actual sex with the chandelier.
She said that she had sex with a human being before.
Yeah, a couple. She said some she liked and some she didn't. Yeah.
Who are you guys talking about, darling? I missed it.
Well, Winifred, if you don't watch the show, you can't summarize it.
And you can do another.
You're supposed to watch the show to come on here, and if you don't, we
went to church like I did today. His church lasted longer.
I love Winifred.
Did you wear your wig and your dress to church today, Justin?
Now he's mad. Holiday. What's everybody going to be for Halloween? Are we dressing up again this year? Is there a plan?
I'm going to be coordinating? David Bowie.
Well, I've been wearing a wolf mask for a while.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I have it right here, actually. The wolf mask.
I wonder what Noodles is going to be.
He's going to be Orson Welles. He can pull that off really easy.
It's a pagan holiday. I don't celebrate.
He doesn't celebrate pagan holidays. Very good. Very good.
I am going to be a garden gnome this year.
You should be Santa Claus for Halloween.
I'll be Santa Claus for Christmas. I'm a garden gnome.
Oh, you'd be a perfect garden gnome, dude, with a pointy hat and
look at that little puppy
and some the outfit.
The doggy.
I'm between the garden gnome and Papa Smurf. I might be Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf. I support Papa Smurf.
He left right when we wanted.
But if I do Papa Smurf, I got to put on blue paint. I got to wear blue makeup. Ooh, that's gonna be hard to get out.
I don't dress up, but last year I wore Minnie Mouse ears.
You should dress up with you. It'll make you feel fabulous, like I'm the most beautiful witch ever.
Justin, are you gonna watch the show later?
For my showcase,
I watched part of it today. It was just weird, and I mean, the chick is just not not really a good person. I don't know. I just
What? You don't think she's a good person? I felt she was a great person. She might just be a little
she's
different.
not my favorite person, but
Wow, unreal.
Okay, I got a question about the wrap up.
Do you use Just for Men? He's got great. Supertramp is the best hair here. I just saw that.
Supertramp's got good hair.
Fucking awesome.
Go ahead, Kleenex. Let Kleenex go.
Does anybody want to hear an interesting story?
Well, it's Slingshot. Let
Kleenex
go. We're all talking over each other.
Okay. I've been muting myself because I'm in a loud place. But anyway, is the wrap up chain going to? It's not. It used to be so many panels open, and so who's banned? We got Mini Man.
He's the only one that's banned. Mini Man.
Okay, so nobody else, but Mini Maniac is banned. So it's just. But are you more comfortable with the fewer people?
Yes, this is what I like. Even if I have half the viewers, I'd much rather have it less of a circus show. I don't like people trying to get attention by talking over the other person and having like this back and forth to make it go so far removed from what it's actually like. We've been able to both or all have a conversation about the show. And when it got a little bit off the rails, we reeled it back in without hurting anybody's ego. And if Minnie Manson was here, he would be talking over everybody, singing, shoving microphones, God knows where, and then begging for attention. And there's a time and place for it, and that's the mainstream.
And he really, Minnie Manson really has to be the center of attention at all times, and that's just everybody kind of feels that way here, and we try to make space for everybody.
So, in your opinion, was Minnie Manson even more unmanageable than T-Bob when T-Bob was involved?
100,000%.
Holy shit! Yes,
but it's two different types of unmanageable. We don't want to give the perception that we would rather deal with T-Bob than Minnie Manson. They're both unappealing.
Yeah, they're both.
Like there's an enjoyable energy on the panels, and
I will say this, okay? When he was on the mainstream, right? He was a perfect kind of opponent for me.
Perfect,
because I was the opposite of I was a hyper version of me, right, and a more extreme version of me. I was playing a heel, right, and he was playing kind of like a
that a heel of bread or the heel on your foot?
Heel like the wrestling term.
Yeah, it's a wrestling term. It's like a heel as in wrestling, like you play the bad
enemy,
guy,
the villain,
right?
Yeah.
The villain,
Is Minnie Manson a dwarf?
What I was doing is that Minnie Manson was kind of like the baby face, and I was the heel, and I was just like, "So you're a godless, degenerate piece of shit," something like that, Right. And he
was actually a great sport too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something real quick.
Go ahead.
I talked to Minnie last week on the phone, and Minnie is denying ever threatening anybody. It wasn't him. It was
unbelievable. I don't know how.
If I don't say something, this person's going to call me and be like, "How come you didn't say something?" So
right.
Okay,
right.
Minnie,
I will say this about
what is
Minnie
Minnie's explanation for mooning Elisa and porn bombing her show?
Oh yeah.
Did you get to that?
I will say this about Minnie Manson. He was a perfect heel to bounce. He was a perfect opponent to bounce off of. He was a colorful character, just like I was. He was a perfect opponent to bounce off.
Noodles, go ahead and answer.
So I asked Minnie about this, about the mooning, because he actually told me about it. I didn't know it happened. And Minnie assumed that showing butt wasn't like showing any vagina or penis or whatever breast. And Minnie referenced a show called Naked and Afraid that was on Discovery Channel.
Right.
Very good point. Discovery Channel was allowed to show rear ends or buttocks for at least half an hour on,
cable.
Yeah, cable. So
was it?
Yeah,
after
YouTube is just
9:00?
different. Like YouTube's rough. YouTube, it's by discretion. So
I got a strike on a stream that all I did was play a very well-known YouTuber that gets strikes all the time, and I played his complete 11 minutes at the end of my stream. I got a strike. I've got a week in Google jail, YouTube
Was it
jail.
Alex Jones?
No, it was a guy that's called a call for an uprising, and now he has a new channel. So it's not even. And this guy also allows you to share. He wants people to share his broadcast.
Because he wants to call for an uprising and start a war.
Yeah, my point
I
is,
can't imagine why you got to strike for that.
It wasn't anything I said. It's what he's talking about, the RFID chip, you know, what's coming out. And the woman that is the chip girl on TikTok, I'm just playing his stuff. It's like, I'm surprised Salty Cracker doesn't get banned. Salty Cracker is huge on YouTube. He mocks his stuff. So some people get away with it. I just play somebody and I get a strike. And what do I have?
Kleenex,
70 views, 80 views on my channel? Give me a break.
Kleenex, I see on YouTube, I see bombs being dropped from drones every day in Ukraine and people being blown to bits on YouTube. And for some strange reason, I can't make a fart joke or say anything about it.
There's waxing videos. There's girls.
But here's one thing I can't do on live streams. Okay. Here's one thing.
It's amazing. Somebody pointed it out on Twitter. I'm like, no way. And I look, and there's this whole area of YouTube where full frontal nudity is allowed because it's either like a doctor situation or a waxing situation. And I'm like, okay, if they're gonna keep that on there, but they kick Kleenex off for showing somebody that had no nudity or anything, that's weird. It's like
here's something that happened to me with my live stream.
I have to ask, do their channels have like tens of thousands of viewers?
Oh,
Is there a
that's
huge market for full waxing?
Yeah, it's just because they're skirting it. They're changing. And, you know, the waxing people that are watching those waxing videos are not women interested in being waxed.
No,
they're a bunch of little.
I recently wrote a letter.
Noodles.
We're on the same page. It's not women who want to know what a wax is like.
But here's the thing. I would add something to this. Can I add something to this?
Yes, let's just try to make sure that we're talking not over each other. So
okay, here's the thing. I don't want to be rude to nobody. I just want to add some. You know, I was doing my stream once, right? And I have something called, you know, like paintball markers. Basically, they kind of look like firearms. You know what I mean? And I was showing them. I got my stream shut down and strike on my channel because of that. And I told them it wasn't a firearm, but they didn't care.
I was surprised that you didn't have any issues with the knife and the.
They don't care about knives.
The other thing.
Oh, the
crossbow.
Yeah. We do only have a couple minutes left, so I want to close the show out. I really appreciate you coming up, Slingshot, and I'm glad that we could get along and everything's put in our past and it's squashed. Can't wait to see you on the show next week. You're awesome. Even if you don't make the mainstream, I will not get my feelings hurt, but I want to see you on at least.
Well, show. I'm gonna take a little bit hiatus. I just yelling and screaming, you know.
I get it,
my
bro.
Computer is just. I get it. It's been messing with my throat. It's like
I feel one important thing to point out is that at least there's not yelling and screaming on Sunday show this week, because that means the mainstream might be working a little bit. But thank you guys very much. I don't think we're going to do songs at the end anymore, because even with Wappy's song, I got a content strike. So it's just, and I know it's because Wappy has his songs protected and stuff. But
you can play guitar yourself and not just.
Yeah, we could finally hear you play guitar.
If it translated well over these kinds of microphones, I would. But all you can hear is. But thank you everybody for watching too, and try to come back for the mainstream, because the mainstream.
I'll be back.
Kleenex will be back. The mainstream is not going to have you, Charmin, anymore, which is sad for me. But if you're feeling funky and feisty, you can come up. Okay. It's a fun place for us to be able to be rascals. And so, thanks, Charmin.